In Britain, they're trying to ban fun. Pubs could ban customers from talking about topics such as transgender rights if landlords think they're harassing staff under Labour's new workers' rights charter. I mean, even something that sounds good, like a workers' rights charter, is being used to control free speech and even fun. The proposed legislation, which is expected to come into force next year, puts a duty on employers to prevent workers from being harassed by third parties, such as customers. They're legitimising control. It's another one of those equations, a little like Julian Assange's "the function of government is to take public money and put it in private hands."
The goal is to use Afghanistan to wash money out of the tax bases of the United States, out of the tax bases of European countries, through Afghanistan, and back into the hands of a transnational security elite.
And he uses war as a primary example of that. And after we've discussed earlier today the $6 billion inadvertent Ukrainian war payment, it's pretty difficult to deny that, because that $6 billion is your money. You could have said, oh, should we spend that on schools? Should we spend that on increasing the payments, for example, of government workers? That's one of the things you could have voted on, but no, because that system doesn't exist. Quite deliberately. Now, even when something like workers' rights is discussed, really what's being created is the opportunity to control free speech, to control free communication. We're here to help you. To believe in any of it, you have to believe in the virtue of the organisation. Do you, let me know in the comments and chat, believe in the virtue of the British government? Is there anything about stories that are going on in the UK at the moment that cause you to question the virtue, the principles, the morality and the ethics of the current British government? And in a way, it's not even their fault, because how could they possibly behave virtuously, controlled as they are by the interests that ultimately control them, whether these are bureaucratic entities like the still influential EU, UN, NATO, WEF, IMF, World Bank, all of these extraordinary institutions that exert more power than they ever ought over a country that should be run by you. You pay for it. It's your country. It's run using your labour, the sweat of your back, your lifeblood, the deaths of your ancestors in various wars. None of that matters to them. Now what they're deciding that they care about is conversations in pubs. Does that seem likely? Let me know in the comments and chat. All of a sudden, they don't want people's feelings being hurt. Do you believe them? Do you trust them? Do you give them that authority? I would say no. Don't grant them that authority. Because kindness, we can do that ourselves. Be kind to people. Be loving to one another. We can do that, can't we? We'll slip up, we'll make mistakes, we'll make errors, and then we'll be forgiven if we repent. But giving all that stuff to the United Kingdom, man, pfft. The Equality and Human... This could prove difficult for employers to enforce. Yeah, you bet. The Equality and Human Rights Commission, EHRC, has warned when it applies to more philosophical debates in venues like pubs. The Equality and Human Rights Commission has warned that it could curtail freedom of expression and applied to overheard conversations. Excuse me, I overheard that person and I don't like what I overheard. Well, what are the ethics of listening to other people's conversations? Is that an ethical dominion or realm that you want to discuss? Yeah, thinking about it. Yeah, I'm the guilty party. Off you go then. If staff hear punters, that's what we say in the UK for people using a facility, discussing religious views, transgender rights or women's rights in a contentious manner, customers could be handed a ban. What they're looking for is opportunities to legitimise control. And the best way to do that is not to tell people overtly, explicitly and upfront, we're trying to control you. It's better to say we're trying to help you and we're trying to protect you, or we're trying to help this vulnerable group. Then they can legitimise their crazy, mad efforts to control every aspect of human life. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and chat? Remember, if you get Rumble Premium, then you get more content and you get no ads. And surely that's a good thing. 1775 may have been a dark year for the British, but it was a great year for freedom and a great year for coffee. 1775 coffee is a powerful brew indeed. Did you know that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee in the morning could slash your risk of death? And it's a risk that you're going to have to face by 29% and cut your chances of heart complications by nearly half. In which case, I'm going to live forever because I drink about 10. That's science. You can't argue with that. But what's the point of you if your coffee tastes like it was brewed by some hyper-woke barista more concerned with their TikTok following than caring about your coffee? Enter 1775 coffee. In you come. This ain't just coffee. It's a revolutionary act of defiance in every cup. Why not have a revolution before breakfast? Hand-picked at high high altitude, sourced from single origins farms, this coffee don't pander to corporate overlords or sugar-laden mediocrity. Whether it's beans, grounds, or pods, every sip of 1775 coffee is a stand against the industrial coffee complex that's been filling our mornings and our bodies with junk disguised as caffeine. This is coffee for the free thinkers, the ungovernable, the seekers of truth. God bless you, 1775 America. Head over to 1775coffee.com and use the code BRAND for 15% off. And make mornings great again with coffee that fuels bold flavor, uncompromising quality, and the freedom Rumble stands for every day. If Rumble were a cup of coffee, it would be 1775. Get yourself a cup right now. You'll maybe live forever. Is that too much to claim?
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.